While Google News may include your article or video content because you have a strong brand, you can dramatically increase the presence when you have a solid technical foundation. When it comes to Google News specific SEO, there are 5 key optimizations. Firstly, entice Googlebot to crawl faster. Like any Google surface, your content cannot be indexed by Google News without first being crawled. But speedy crawling is even more critical in Google News as it works off a short-term index and heavily biases fresh content, making indexing speed paramount to success. Submitting a news sitemap to Google Search Console and adding the URL to your robots.txt file to speed up crawling of news content. Being sure URLs are added immediately upon publication and removed after 48 hours. Then, for both your sitemap and Publisher Center RSS feeds, use WebSub to notify Google of new content. Else, content from the section feeds will only be updated hourly and the XML sitemaps crawled even less frequently. When Google does crawl, you want to be putting your best content forward, not only text, but also visuals. Images are a key driver of click-through rate from Google News. On news surfaces, Google may show various sizes of thumbnails, or in some cases, just no image at all, based on the available image aspect ratios and resolutions. If you want a picture to show, it is essential for the content to contain at least one image placed near the article title that has a resolution of 50,000 pixels in a 16:9 aspect ratio in JPEG or PNG format. Be warned that WebP works well for Google products, but it can cause compatibility issues on other marketing tools, such as those for email or push notifications, so it's best to be avoided. But if you want the largest possible image to show and to outperform your competitors, ensure images are exactly 1,200 by 674 pixels, add 4:3 and 1:1 aspect ratio versions, and ensure the max image preview is set to large in the code. Technology can aid in many of the aspects of these requirements, such as automated cropping to the additional aspect ratios and warning messages if content creator tries to upload a non-compatible format. But it cannot help with the actual content of the image. Don't allow your article to get lost in a sea of sameness. To the Associated Press, CBS, CNN, and USA Today, I say, there must be more than one photo of Prince Harry out there. Remember, a standout image can compel a reader to click on your story over a competitor's, resulting in Google News algorithms driving higher readership, not only to that article, but also future content in that topical area. So train your editorial teams on the why behind image requirements, especially as this not only impacts visibility in Google News, but beyond to Discover, Universal Search, many other niche Google services. The third technical tactic is to eliminate any date confusion. Google states they don't depend on a single date factor because all factors can be prone to issues. So you need to leave no room for interpretation. Show a single user visible date and label it appropriately with text like published or last updated. Not both, like Huffington Post. Not a certain number of hours ago, like BBC News. And while Fox News does an excellent job on the date formatting, it should be placed above the headline. It should not be placed above the headline, but rather between the headline and the article text. Also, minimize the presence of other dates on the page, for example, by not including the publication date of related articles, and remember to internationalize. The 7th of the 3rd, 2023 could be read as either March 7th or July 3rd, depending on your location. Leave no ambiguity. Make the date clear no matter the region in both the user interface as well as in the structured data. Because both date published and, if necessary, date modified are properties in news article structured data markup. Think of structured data as communicating to Google in its mother tongue. This markup helps Google's indexer clearly understand the content, increasing the chance it will show your desired headlines, images, and the correct date information on Google News surfaces. But don't stop with just article structured data. I doubt you needed another reason to love frequently asked question markup, but just in case, this feature is not only for universal search, it also is used in Google News in the full coverage reports. If you target the US English speaking market, you could earn a first mover advantage by using speakable markup to have key sections of your topical news stories read aloud on Google Assistant enabled devices, where users ask, "What's the latest on a topic?" It reads up to 3 articles. Right now, competition for these slots is very low, so it can be a relatively easy way to reach a new user base. And don't think that there isn't traffic to be earned. Google verbally attributes the source and sends the full article URL to the user's mobile device through the Google Assistant app. Another underutilized feature is broadcasting live or live blog posting markup. This earns a red live badge and often leads to preferential treatment in competitive placements such as the video pack or top stories carousel, which can give you a boost in around 5% of news-related topics. And it also allows you to enter live-only placements on YouTube, where right now you can earn visibility exceptionally easy due to the extremely low competition. Tying back into the earlier point, also add author structured data to connect your brand entity to your author's entities and the authority they bestow. This can earn them placements in journalistic featured snippets and you, as their employer, more credibility. And establish your brand entity by adding news media organization structured data, unless publishing is not your primary business model, but a blog attached to a larger website, in which case use organization markup. Either way, add this to your About page to confirm as much relevant information as the structured data allows to re-emphasize the facts about your entity you've already wrote on the human readable page. Paying special attention to the name, the images, contact details, same as, and also ensure any notable awards you have won are included, but the most critical is the description. This can influence the subtitle of your knowledge panel. And this matters because from a branding perspective, there is a big difference between being described generically as a company or a website versus a newspaper or a tabloid. But personally, I aim for being described as a media company like CNN. And this can be influenced by making sure that whatever you write in your brand bio, on your About page, on social media, in industry directories, in digital PR articles, always start with the description, "Brand is a media company," or however you want to be described. This repetition will influence Google over time to agree with your description. Once you're done adding the structured data for your brand and assets, then mark up all the other entities featured in your content. When these entities are explicitly understood by Google, it cements the connections between them and the brand entity. This strengthens the brand through relatedness and increases the probability of your brand being found in the context of topical queries. Now, when it comes to digital content, we all know that headlines can make or break a story's success. So maybe you're wondering why headlines are a technical topic. It's because no matter how your writers are trying to serve all of those surfaces, we need to have dedicated headlines. Trying to do this with a single headline is impossible. Headlines created for social engagement may not perform well on search. Headlines written for SEO may not be engaging enough to perform on site. And to make matters worse, Google News displays them in a smaller number of characters than other distribution platforms. But there is a technical solution to this creative problem. Barry Adams recently published a piece about the 5 headlines Google cares about. I strongly recommend you read it, but I'll do my best to summarize the key points. The first is a visible headline, which is the one shown at the top of a news article and wrapped in a H1 tag. Write this for your users. You can use your witty puns or lengthy lead-ins that work well offline if you cater to the clear, topic-relevant headline Google News algorithms need with the structured data headline. This is what is almost always used in the article headline in the top stories carousel. The key here is to include the focus topic and make it concise so it's not cut off. The exact character count differs, but aim for under 85 characters. Of course, articles can also be shown in the normal search results, but here Google displays the title tag. This also needs to include the topic, but it should be close to the start as possible, and you only have around 65 characters until you're cut off. Discover is Google News' answer to social media feeds. So it's not surprising that on occasion it will show an article's open graph tag, which are designed for social over other headlines. And in any case, write a custom title to drive engagement on social platforms is always worth the time investment. And while we're on the subject of social, don't forget that YouTube video headlines, where you should use approximately 70 characters, are also important. Make sure you name the topic and put a pipe between the brand name and the end of the title, as this is best practice on YouTube. With the technical ability to customize each of the 5 headlines for their key distribution channel, you're more likely to capture the user's attention and win the click.
Now, if you liked this ClearScope webinar snippet, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe so you don't miss out on more great tips and strategies from the industry's best SEOs and content marketers. Make sure to check out the ClearScope YouTube channel for more great content.